Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. I know it's been a long time, but I am back and I'm going to start reading again. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to do all signs. So this video is going to be for every sign of the zodiac. We're going to go all the way from Aries to Pisces, and we're going to look at love, lust, or loss. That's how we're going to start off. Okay. All right. So let's start off with love, lust, or loss. We're going to start with Aries. The timestamps are going to be in the description box below. Okay. You got a choice to make, Aries. I saw the Two of Wands fall while I was shuffling and the Sun card. So you're going to have a choice on your soulmate. There may be more than one soulmate coming towards you, is what I'm seeing with what fell. Because whenever I crack the deck, it tells me what is going on with you. It gives me further information. Okay. All right. So get a card for Aries. Okay. Card for their person. Oof. All of these, Spirit? Okay. So I'm just going to do... Okay. All of these? Okay. You got 3 cards that fell. Okay. And outcome. All right. Okay, Aries. Ooh. All right. And let me get clarification decks. Okay. So here we go. Aries. Your overall energy for the reading is going to be the 5 of Cups. Okay. So there's some kind of breakup or, heartbreak, breakup, separation that is going to occur or has already occurred, or this may be something you're contemplating in your mind. Okay. You're taking a look at these cups. There may have been a third party situation going on here. Okay. I'm just noticing that red that's there in the card there. So there may have been, I feel like this was a very painful situation for you, or if this is a decision you're coming to, I feel like this has been a very painful decision for you to make. But what Spirit wants you to take a look at is the fact that, you may be crying over spilled milk because of what happened. And when I say crying over spilled milk, I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, because I don't want to make light of what you're going through. But what Spirit wants you to take a look at are these 2 cups behind you, because you still have the opportunity to have the love life that you're wanting to have. Okay. Because look at what's under this is the Lovers, Gemini energy. Okay. So this is the perfect union, right? Where you and this person, you vibe on every level, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And with the Lovers, I feel like, this is also a soulmate card. So Spirit is telling you that this 2 of Cups that's behind you is representing this love relationship that you're wanting. All right. You may be tired of what's going on here, tired of the status quo, because you're still looking at those 3 cups here with the 4 of Cups. You may feel like you had a missed opportunity, but Spirit is telling you here's another opportunity that's coming towards you here. Okay. All right. Let me clarify this card. 5 of Cups. Okay. So we've got music. It's talking about messages being received through music and lyrics. This could be your person talking to you. It could be Spirit talking to you, because that's, for me, that's how Spirit speaks to me, is through the music. Okay. But sometimes it's my person as well. Okay. So you have 3 cards that fell for you. We have the Magician. Okay. King of Cups, which for me is Cancer. And then the High Priestess, which is Pisces energy. So I feel like what Spirit is saying with these cards is that the person that you're wanting, which I feel like is represented by this King of Cups. So it could be a water sign. It doesn't have to be a Cancer. It could be a Pisces or a Scorpio as well. This is the type of person that you're wanting to have. And Spirit is telling you, you have all the skills, tools, and abilities that you need in order to manifest this person, but you're going to need to listen to your intuition, is what they're saying with the High Priestess. Let me clarify. Okay, so we've got intimacy. So this is about you learning how to open up and let people in. We talk about this all the time, Aries. We've talked about this a lot in the past, that if you're wanting this type of love, okay, this is someone who is very emotionally open. So if you're wanting this type of relationship, you're going to have to learn how to open up to this person, or open up in relationships, period. Okay. Okay, when it comes to your person, we've got the Tower. Okay, Scorpio energy. So this person could be a Scorpio, or they may have Scorpio placements. With the Tower, this is talking about your person, I feel like, being blindsided. Okay, this can talk about the ending of this connection, which I feel like is on the horizon, or it's already happened for some of you, because everybody's going to be at a different place in this reading. Okay, let me slow down. I'm just going so fast, speaking so fast. Okay, so with the Tower, you know, your person, if this hasn't happened yet, I feel like they feel it coming. Okay, so you may be, the two of you may be having a lot of arguments. You know, things may not be going the way that you're wanting them to go, or this just could represent for some of you something that has happened in the past. Okay, yeah, this person feels a lot of regret, Aries. Okay, about what happened between the two of you. Okay, they realize the error of their ways, the mistakes that they've made, and what they did to contribute to this Tower. Okay. Okay. And so when it comes to the energy between the both of you, I'm sorry to say, but we've got the Eight of Cups. But let me say that. Let me walk that back. I'm not going to say that I'm sorry that this is happening, because I feel like what Spirit is telling you is that this needs to happen so that the person that you're wanting to come in, the type of person you're wanting to come in, can come in. Okay. You have to leave what is happening here, because there's secrets, because we've got the High Priestess there. You know, this person has done things. Okay. I know, you know, it takes two to tango in a relationship. You may have done things as well. But with this Eight of Cups, what Spirit is saying, that, you know, in order for you to get what it is that you truly want, you're going to have to abandon this connection. And I feel like you feel that already, because you've been thinking about it, contemplating it, or you've already done so. You've already started to take steps in order to you know, break off this relationship. So let me clarify. Pull a card for you and your person. So yeah, see, this is about boundaries, Aries. Okay, so this is about you realizing, because this card to me represents dignity. It's you realizing that you weren't being treated, or the relationship wasn't going in a respectful manner. You weren't being treated in a respectful manner. This person was walking all over you and not treating you the way that you deserved. So this is what needs to happen, because you have to show Spirit that you're self-aware. Okay, you understand what needs to happen in order to have the type of relationship you want. And so you're going to have to implement boundaries when you're in a connection with someone else. Okay, so this person overindulges your person here that's being represented by the Tower. So they may have like some type of addiction. This to me reminds me of the devil. So there may be some type of, you know, issues with balance when it comes to your person. Okay, because it could be food, it could be greed, like over money, you know, or material things, over drinking, debauchery, spending beyond their means or necessity. Okay. And I feel like whatever this is, this indulgence, it, you know, it made you realize, or helped you to realize, that you needed to move on. Because remember, as I said, when you leave a connection with the Eight of Cups, because for some of you, you may have been with this person for a while, because we've got 8. So it could have been 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years for some of you. Okay. So with this Eight of Cups and you walking away, this is somebody that's not fulfilled in the current connection with the current person. And they're moving on towards the next card, which would be the Nine of Cups, which is your wish fulfillment, which is what you really want, which is represented by this King of Cups. Okay. So Spirit is telling you that this person exists. The one that's coming towards you exists, but you have to deal with this situation first before you can move on to anybody else. Okay. All right. So instead of, when we're asking whether it's a love lust or loss, I would call this a loss. But I feel like it's a good loss because you're headed towards what it is that you really want, Aries. Okay? All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay. Now we're moving on to Taurus. Okay? Here we go. This was Taurus spirit. What messages do you have for Taurus? Okay. All right. Card for Taurus, please. Card for the person. Ooh. Energy between them. Outcome. Okay. Here we go, Taurus. All right. So overall energy for your reading is the Three of Pentacles. This is talking about, collaboration. This could be, for some of you, you may be going to therapy, with your person or alone to try to deal with some issues. But I feel like for the most part, this is talking about what you're wanting in the relationship, which is, collaboration with your person, for you and your person to work together and to form a solid, committed partnership. Okay. Under this, we've got the Ace of Cups. This can talk about a new relationship coming in or a rekindled romance. This can also speak of self-love. But in order for you to have this, Spirit is telling you, you need to have the self-love that comes out of the Ace of Cups. Okay. And then we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So for some of you, I feel like that's what you're working on. You're working on loving yourself more so that you'll be able to uphold your boundaries and do what it is you need to do to have the type of relationship you're wanting. Let's clarify. Okay. We've got spirituality. Yeah. So you're focusing more on your spiritual side. And I feel like getting in touch with your spirit and learning how to love yourself and love your spirit. Okay. All right. For some of you, this connection with this person, whoever this is, whoever's on your mind, could be a spiritual connection. Okay. They may possibly be a soulmate or so on. Okay. So when it comes to the card we have for you, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a good card to see. It's major arcana. It is also a soulmate card. Okay. So as I just said before I picked up this card, that you may be dealing with a soulmate. The Wheel of Fortune talks about, the type of relationship you're wanting coming in. It's also talking about, it being good luck. And as I said, it is a soulmate card. So let's clarify. See what Spirit is saying. Give me 1 second. Okay. So inspiration. Okay. You could be this person's inspiration, or you may be feeling inspired by certain things you're dealing with. You may be going through some form of transformation, because we've got the butterfly here, and you all know about how the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and comes out the butterfly. And then we've got water here, so there may be some emotion, because this world here is made up of water. Okay, and water, of course, symbolizes emotion. So let me get one more card. Yeah. Okay, it says divine timing. Now is the time. Divine timing is at play. So when I see this card with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like that's what Spirit is talking about, divine timing. Okay, that everything is happening when it's supposed to happen. Okay, and a lot of times we want to push, because I'm a big one for that, wanting to push and force it to make it come before time or come when on my time frame, but it's going to get here when it's supposed to get here, when you're ready. Okay. When it comes to your person, King of Swords, air sign, or someone with a lot of air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This person could be, they could be a cop. They could be, in the military. This may be somebody who is very independent, very reserved. This may be somebody where, the two of you have a meeting of the minds, where you are very, how do I explain? Where you're very like-minded about a lot of different things. Like you may be able to sit and talk and communicate with this person for hours on end and talk about all manner of topics and a lot of things. You may have a lot of things in common with this person. Okay. Let me clarify. Okay, so we have warrior, awakened warrior of the heart, surrendered to ego and struggle, reconnected with the heart and the divine, has returned to love. So this, for a lot of you may be your divine counterpart, because whenever this card comes up, that's what it's talking about. Okay. So when it comes to the energy between the both of you, we have the high priestess. Okay. This is talking about both of you needing to pay attention and listen to your intuition. It could be a situation where one side or both sides, you may feel like you're trying to pin this person down, but they keep slipping away. That's not for everybody, but that's what I'm getting, like unattainable. Or you may, this person may have put you on a pedestal, or you may have put them on a pedestal with the high priestess. And then the outcome we have is the Knight of Cups. Water sign is someone with a lot of water in their chart: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So there is a love offer coming, Taurus. Okay, it could be you giving it to them, or them giving it to you. It's going to be different for everybody, but this is the love offer that you want, where the person comes in with their heart on their sleeve and is really open about how they feel and what it is that they want to have with you. Okay, let's clarify. All right, synchronicities. Give me 1 second. You may be seeing a lot of numbers. Okay. You may be seeing a lot of numbers: 1111, repeating numbers, 22, 22, 33, 33, or the mirrored version of it. And by that, I mean like 21, 12, 12, 21, where you see the mirror image of the numbers. Okay. When it comes to your person, we have loyal. So this person here that's represented by the King of Swords, it will be someone loyal to you. For some of you, you're already in this connection. For others of you, this is a connection that's on its way. So this is someone you can trust, someone, you can, give your heart to, and someone who's going to take care of you. This is a king that we're looking at, not a page, a page trying to do little things. This person moves and makes big moves. So this is someone that, you want to deal with, you want to open yourself up to, but you got to do it in your own time. Okay. So when it comes to whether this connection is love, lust, or loss, I would call this love. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Taurus, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Gemini. So this is your reading for love, lust, or loss. We're going to take a look at you and your person and see what's going on between you and them. Okay. All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What is the message that you have for Gemini Spirit? What is the message that you have for Gemini? Maybe a fresh new start in love for you, Gemini. You may have a lot of options. I see the 7 of Cups. Oh yeah, some stuff is about to manifest. You may be in deep thought. Okay. Card for Gemini, please. All right. Card for their person. All right. And the outcome. Okay. Okay, Gemini. Ooh. I'm saying that because it's supposed to be upside down. Okay. Is it supposed to be upside down? All right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Overall energy we've got is the 9 of Swords. This may be you or your person or both of you worried and anxious about this situation. Okay. We've got crying, nightmares, sleepless nights. All right. There may have been some betrayal that has happened that has messed with this relationship. Okay. Then we've got the 5 of Swords. Okay. The 5 of Swords can talk about like mind games, somebody playing mind games and playing around. And I feel like looking at this card that whoever this is that was playing the games, because it could be you, it could be your person. I feel like the other person may have walked away from what was going on. Okay. Then under this, we've got the Hermit card. Okay. This could represent the older person. So your person could be older. It could be you. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is talking about your person. And it's just talking about, you know, soul searching, contemplating, like really thinking about what it is that they want with the Hermit card. Okay, let's clarify this Nine of Swords. Okay, ooh, so we've got digging, spying on, this could be masculine. It says masculine, but it could be masculine or feminine. Spying on the masculine through social media. So you may be digging and looking, or this could be your person doing this. But I feel like for some of you, this is you. We already know you're digging because you're looking at this tarot card reading. If you're looking at a tarot card reading, this counts as digging, okay? Because, and you know, YouTube, of course, is social media. Okay, let me get a card for your person. Okay, so we've got worthy. Okay, so your person may be going through, you know, a time in their life where they are focusing on self-love and making sure that they feel worthy, okay, to have certain things in their life. Maybe in the past they had a problem with it, you know, maybe it's been an ongoing thing, but I feel like, you know, they're working on self-love, they're working on building themselves up to be a good partner in a relationship. Okay. All right. So the card we got for you, Gemini, is the Seven of Swords. Okay. So this can talk about like you trying to get away from get away with something. For some of you, this could be a strategy that you're trying to implement at this time. But for a lot of you, this is talking about getting away with things. Okay. Remember, for some of you, you're going to be on this side. For others of you, you're going to be on the other side. So with this Seven of Swords, there is some type of betrayal. Like I told you, we had the Five of Swords show up. So there's been some mind games going on. I don't know if it was you, Gemini, if it was your person, but based on what Spirit is saying, this side I'm reading here is Gemini's side. So like I said, there's been some mind games going on. And because of those mind games and whatever else was going on, this person has walked away from the connection is what I feel like. And because of that, there's been crying, nightmares, sleepless nights, anxiety. Okay. For some of you, it may have been a situation where, you know, this happened and it's not as easy to walk away from the connection as you may think, you know, as you may have thought it would be, or it's not as easy for your person to walk away as well, because I feel like for some of you, it's a soulmate connection. Okay. So we've got the nurture card here. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is that this connection was like a gift. It was supposed to be something that was supposed to be nurtured. This reminds me of like the Seven of Pentacles. This was supposed to be something where you planted seeds and allowed those seeds to flourish. But for some reason, things kind of went off the rails. Okay. So when it comes to your person, we've got the Star. This is Aquarius energy. So your person is trying to heal from what has happened between the both of you. Okay. It is talking about, you know, them letting go of baggage. I feel like they're trying to forgive you and forgive this situation. If it was you that did the thing, or if this is you being represented by the Star, you're trying to forgive the other person for the way in which they, you know, betrayed you, or vice versa. Okay. And so this person's trying to heal. They're wishing upon a star for what it is that they really want. Because remember, we know that they're working on building themselves up to feel worthy of the proper relationship. Let's clarify. So we've got telepathy. It's like able to hear each other's thoughts and converse mentally, able to sense each other's feelings and moods. So this can be either a soulmate connection, because let me tell you, this is something that I realized. You can have this same type of thing going on with a soulmate, where the soulmate, you can hear their thoughts, or like if they're thinking about you, you'll feel them thinking about you. There's like a spiritual connection between you and this person. And because of that, you know, you will get the telepathy thing. Hold on. Let me see if I get another card. The Star. Okay. Yep. See? You see that? The card flipped out of the deck. I did not. And I shuffled these cards really well before I got on camera. So I told you, this person is a soulmate. That's why you're able to, you know, feel their thoughts, or you can feel when they're thinking about you, when you're thinking about them. Like I've had soulmates where I was able to, when they were texting back and forth, and when they were about to text me, I would get this thought of them. Or sometimes when they're thinking about me, I can feel it. Okay, it sounds crazy, but you know, this is what it is. Okay, all right. So when it comes to the outcome, hold on, side down spirit. Okay, so when it comes to the outcome, we've got the Nine of Cups. So this is talking about wish fulfillment. This card fell. When it fell upside down. So I was checking, double checking to make sure that it's supposed to be right side up. So I feel like Spirit is saying the normal thing in this card is it talks about you getting your wish. I feel like it's not only that, I also feel like for the people that were playing games, I feel like this is reminding me, is giving me justice. Like whatever it was that happened, everybody's going to get their just desserts. That's what I feel like Spirit is saying with this card. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, give me another card, Spirit. Okay. 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 So for your person on this side, whoever's on this side, we've got synchronicity. So you may be, or you or your person, or both of you may be seeing repeating numbers. Okay, because like I said, it's a soulmate connection. And then we've got complete. Okay, this person on this side loves unconditionally, unselfishly, with no limitations. And I feel like this person is not struggling, but focusing on continuing to do this, even though, you know, things, the two of you may have had a false start or a rough start with this Seven of Swords here, because somebody did something. There's a lot of passion in this connection. Okay, a lot of romance, and it is a spiritual connection, is what Spirit is saying. But it remains to be seen what happens. Okay, I feel like somebody may come, the person, whoever this is with the Seven of Swords, may come forward, may decide to come forward and apologize to the other person for what was done. Okay, what created, whatever they did to create the false start. And you know, it's going to be up to this person on this side whether or not they decide to continue on with the connection or to move away. But I feel like for some of you, they've walked away, because we've got this Five of Swords here, and my attention was drawn to these people, this person here walking away and this person over here crying. So I feel like both of you have been upset over what happened in this connection. Okay, because maybe in the beginning you didn't realize it was a soulmate connection, but upon the two of you engaging with each other, you figured it out. I think you figured it out by now. If not, you know it now, because Spirit is telling you. Okay, all right. So in the thing of love, lust, or loss, I feel like for some of you this is going to be love. For others of you, you know, it may end up being a loss. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Gemini, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, now it's time for Cancer. It's for Cancer Spirit. What messages do you have for Cancer? Do you have for Cancer? Okay. Can I have a card for Cancer, please, Spirit? Okay. Card for their person. Okay. Then the outcome. Okay. Both of these. It's just this one. Or this one too. Okay. Okay, Cancer. Your overall energy for love, lust, or loss reading is the King of Swords. So this is an air sign or someone with a lot of air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This could be somebody who may be on the police force. They could be military. They could just be somebody who is very independent. Someone who is an air sign, you know, independent thinker is what's coming to mind when I think about this card. This can also just be about like the type of attraction you have with this person. It could be like a mental attraction, like the communication between the both of y'all may be very good, and you know, you may be on the same wavelength when it comes to a lot of your morals and your ideas and how you think about things in the world. Underneath this, we've got the Ten of Cups. So this is a situation, this is the happy family card. This could, you know, be denoting that for some of you, this is a very happy relationship, or this is what you're wanting to get out of the connection. This could be what your person is wanting to give you as well. And then underneath that, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So this connection to me seems like it has the potential to be a long-term, stable, and committed connection, seeing the Ace of Pentacles, because the Ace of Pentacles can speak of a brand new beginning, meaning it could be the two of you coming together to form this, or it could be a situation where you're already in a relationship with this person and this is where you're headed. Okay. Okay. So let's clarify the King of Swords. King of Swords, please. Okay. So the card we got is pictures. So I feel like a lot of you have been taking stock of your life. You may be looking back at the past, at things that have happened in your life, like old memories. It could be actual old pictures that you may be going through, like something you may keep in a shoebox or something like that. That's the image I'm getting. With this pictures card, a lot of it for me speaks of healing, like going back and looking at the steps you've taken to better yourself and your person as well, working on themselves, because it is showing up for the King of Swords. Okay. All right. Let me get a card for your person. Okay, so we've got guidance. It says guidance from higher self, spirit, trusted family or friends, anyone with wisdom. So your person is someone who seeks guidance from the trusted people, the people that he or she trusts around them, with the guidance card. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the card we have for you, it is the Knight of Pentacles. Earth sign or someone with a lot of earth in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. As I've said, you want to be in a committed connection. You want something very stable, very secure. You may be a very ambitious person as well, Cancer. And this is, you know, you're either wanting your person to come towards you with a love offer, or you may be going towards them. The two of you may be slowly coming together to build this Ten of Cups relationship that we have showing up here. Okay. All right. But this is, you know, what I keep getting is a lot of stability and security. Okay. But if your person is who is being represented by the King of Swords, one thing you have to remember is that this person is very independent. You know, they like their me time. They like to have, they may like, you know, to kind of have control of things, not in a negative way, I don't feel like. But this is someone with whom they're very selective about who they allow in their life with the King of Swords. Okay. And you just have to, you know, keep that in mind, to know that a lot of times with this card, if you don't rise up to this person to meet this person's standards, you know, they have a lot of options available with the King of Swords. And I'm not saying that in order to, you know, be negative or cast a negative light, but I'm just telling you what's coming up when I get this card. Okay, let me clarify the Knight of Pentacles. But I feel like you both have very high standards, because with the Knight of Pentacles, this talks about someone who is very ambitious, and they want someone in their life who's going to mirror that ambition. And this is someone, if this is representing your person, this is someone that is very ambitious as well. Okay. All right. So the card that we have to clarify the Knight of Pentacles is Manifest. So this reminds me of the Magician. Okay. So I feel like, you know, you're trying to manifest commitment with this person. Okay. And it's happening. but it's going very slowly because, as I always tell you with the Knight of Pentacles, this is the slowest knight in the deck. But going slow, even though sometimes it's cast under a bad or negative light, I don't feel like taking things slowly is very bad. I feel like it's a very good thing because you get a chance to know the person gets a chance to know you. And a lot of times you eliminate people checking out of the relationship because they're afraid because things are moving so fast. Okay. All right. Okay. So the card we have for your person is Judgment. So this is Scorpio energy. This could speak of this person coming back and wanting a second chance with you. For others of you, this card could represent, this person possibly being judgmental. It could be in a positive way, judgmental in a negative way. So with the Judgment card, for most of you, what I'm getting is this being a second chance with the two of you, a second go around. So maybe the two of you came into something together and it didn't pan out the way you wanted it to the first time. So for some of you, this could be a second go around between you and this person. Okay. And then look, we've got karmic partner here. It says the purpose of this connection is to learn lessons, provide personal growth, and self-improvement required for our soul's journey. So for some of you, this could be a karmic partner. For others of you, this could be meaning that this person is involved with the karmic, and that may be why things didn't work out between the two of you the first time. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to your outcome, we've got two cards. We have the Eight of Wands and we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is Taurus energy. It is talking about things manifesting. Remember, we had the manifest card here, which I told you reminds me of the Magician. This is another manifestation card, the Eight of Wands. So I feel like the wands are coming towards this Hierophant. So the two of you are coming into a situation where you're headed towards a higher level of commitment. Okay. Okay. So let me clarify. Okay. Okay, for your person, we've got forgiveness of self and others. So this person may have made some wrong steps in this connection. Okay, Cancer, and they may be coming back and asking you for forgiveness, trying to take accountability for what happened. Okay, and doing what they can to make things right because it is clear that they do want to have a second chance with you. Okay, but I feel like, for some of you, this karmic partner may have gotten in the way of the two of you the first time. Okay, and then when it comes to you, we have self-care and inner light. So I feel like Spirit is saying, continue to focus on yourself. Okay, make sure you're taking care of yourself and doing the things you need to do to make yourself feel loved, because it's not about the other person. It's always about you and the relationship you have, with yourself. That's what's going to be reflected in this connection with this other person. And then we've got inner light. And I feel like with the inner light, Spirit is saying, you taking care of yourself is you taking care of this inner light and, inspiring yourself so that you can continue to have the type of life you want. And then it's going to spill over into other areas of your life, most importantly with your relationship. Okay. All right. So Cancer, when it comes to love, lust, or loss, I would call this connection a love connection. Okay. All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm on to the next sign. Bye. Okay. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So now we are moving on to Leo. Okay. Leo, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to take a look and see what's going on with you and your person. The Leo Spirit, what messages do you have for Leo? Okay. May I have one card for Leo, please? One card for their person. And the outcome. Okay. Overall energy, Leo, for your reading is the Page of Wands, fire sign or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This card, the first thing that comes to mind is good news. So you may be receiving a message from your person There may be a lot of excitement and curiosity about this connection. Also with this Page of Wands, as I said, it is good news. So this could be a love offer, albeit it's going to be, a small one. But there, there's nothing wrong with that. Underneath this, we've got the Seven of Wands. So somebody may be trying to strategize on how to come forward and speak to you. But for some of you, this could represent betrayal. It may have been a situation where one or the other of you or both of you may have gotten away with something with this Seven of Swords, okay? And then underneath this, we've got the King of Pentacles, Earth sign or someone with a lot of Earth in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This could represent somebody, from your past, or basically, I feel like it's the idea of what you're wanting, Leo. You want stable, committed relationship with someone who is going to be here and it's going to stand the test of time. Okay. Somebody might be getting a new card because I just saw the Chariot underneath all of that. Okay, let's clarify the Page of Wands. Okay, so we've got divine timing that fell. So this message that's coming through, or love offer, or both, it's going to happen in divine timing. But if you see it, it says now is the time. Okay, divine timing is at play. So when the time is right is when, all of this is supposed to take place with the message or the love offer. When it comes to the card that I have for you, Leo, I have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is talking about some sort of celebration. So whatever this is, whatever message this is, it could be a text message, it could be an email, it could be somebody calling you on the phone, it could be a bunch of different things. But whatever this is, it's going to be something for you to celebrate, okay? This could also just be you, enjoying your life. But I feel like for the majority of you, there's going to be a celebration involving this connection, okay? Let's clarify. Yeah, so we've got intimacy. So this could be about you and your person, whatever, the message is, or, the two of you coming together or coming back together. It could spark a newer, a closer level of intimacy between you and your person, okay? Because what they say, intimacy is intimacy, right? Okay, so when it comes to your person, we've got the Strength card. This is your energy. It can speak of like trying to overcome personal challenges. So there may have been something that was going on with your person that led to this, betrayal, or them trying to get away with something. Because for some of you, it may have been a betrayal with the Seven of Swords, okay? All right, so, and I feel like, they may be trying to make amends, but whatever is going on with this person, it may possibly be causing them to hold back, because there's some things that they're trying to overcome with the Strength card. A lot of times the Strength card can be about believing in yourself. Okay, so this person may be thinking that, they're not good enough for you, or they're not worthy, all types of things that, we think. So yeah, see, there we go. Lack mentality. So this talks about constantly focusing on what you don't have, having random goals, and thinking that there isn't enough for everyone. It's a fear-based thinking. So that's what this person is doing. And it's causing them to withhold themselves in this connection. Okay. Okay. And so when it comes to the outcome between the two of you, we've got the Page of Cups, water sign or someone with a lot of water in their chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This card is telling me that there's going to be some type of love offer. I don't know if it's coming from you to them or from them to you. For some of you, the majority of you, I feel like it's coming from your person to you, where they're going to come forward and apologize. Whoever this is that's being represented by this Seven of Swords, by some form of betrayal that took place, whoever it was that betrayed the other person, Spirit is saying more than likely it's going to be a thing where the other person comes to apologize to the one that was offended. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, so for you, we have passion. There's a lot of passion in this connection. I already knew that because of the Page of Wands here. Okay, so like I said, it is a very passionate connection, and it looks like the two of you are going to, step on up to a newer level of intimacy. Okay. And then we've got the independent card for your person. So your person is focusing on and trying to stand in a place of power and be independent. This to me reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like they're trying to perfect, I guess, their identity, how they think of themselves, and get out of this lack mentality so that they can come towards you in the way that, you know, you're wanting them to. Because I don't feel like it's a situation where they don't have feelings for you. They do have feelings for you. There's a lot, you know, a lot of passion in this connection, and it's not just one-sided, because we've got the Page of Wands here. Okay. But this person is going through a little bit of a identity shift, is what I'm getting. So they're going through something that is, you know, giving them pause, but they're rallying and doing their best to show up better than the way they have in the past, or the way they may come to you initially. Okay. All right, Leo. So when it comes to love, lust, or loss, with your case, I would deem this a love connection. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Leo, and I will talk to you soon. Okay. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot, Virgo. Today we're going to look at love, lust, or loss and see what's going on with you and your person. Okay. This is for Virgo Spirit. What messages do you have for Virgo? What messages do you have for Virgo Spirit? Okay. You have a card for Virgo? Okay. Card for their person, please. Okay. Okay. And the outcome, please. All right. Okay, Virgo. All right. The overall energy for your reading is the Hermit. It is your energy. It could represent the older person in the connection, but it doesn't have to. The Hermit is talking about healing, contemplation, thinking about, you know, like deep thought, thinking about things in your life that, you know, that need to be thought about, you know. Always reminds me of that. Was it the skit on Saturday Night Live, Jack Handy's Deep Thoughts? I don't know. That's what came to me when I looked at this card. But anyway, there's been some type of heartbreak, breakup, or separation. You may be crying over spilled milk. This could be your person. Okay. But Spirit is trying to tell you, you know, you need to have that time to mourn. But while you are looking at these three cups, it could have been a third party situation for some of you. Spirit is reminding you that you always have opportunities behind you, you know, behind you, ready to go, even if you aren't ready at the time. So Spirit is saying, you know, take your time to mourn whatever it is that you need to mourn, but don't let yourself get caught up in it so deeply that you don't see that there are other opportunities behind you. Even, like I said, even though you may not be ready for them at this time. Okay. There was some type of tower moment that happened in this connection, Scorpio energy. So the two of you may have broken up. There may have been some infidelity, is what's coming to mind for some reason. So it could could apply to some of you and maybe not necessarily everyone. And then under that, I had the Emperor card. So for some of you, this could have been a divine counterpart, or it could be a situation where, you know, maybe the person was a little bit too controlling, because the Emperor can be rigid at times when it's reversed. Okay. All right. So let's clarify the Hermit. I don't know why I'm stuttering. It's somebody doesn't want to say something or whatever in this energy. Okay. So the card that fell is intimacy. So I feel like this was a situation where one of you was wanting the connection to be deeper, or to go deeper than what it was actually going with this intimacy card. Okay. Let's clarify from your person's side and see what we're going to get. Okay. So we've got, cowardice. It says, no courage, afraid to tell the truth, afraid to do the right thing. And see, I'm stuttering in this energy, and I've been reading. This is not my first reading today, and I feel like I can't get the words out. So I feel like that may be what's going on with your person, that, you know, they could be afraid. And I know y'all are sick of the people coming into your life that are afraid to open themselves up. But, you know, if you want to get to this level of intimacy, you got to be savage when it comes to some of these people and not, I know you love them and I know you have feelings for them. And at the end of the day, you have to do what you think is best, but you have to always remember as well, Virgo, that what one person won't do, another person will. And if this is what you're getting and the person is not ready to be in a connection, then, you know, you have to do what's best for yourself. You have to do what's best for you. And I know that may seem cutthroat, but you have to look at, like, for instance, let's take a look at this. Let's talk about this real quick, and then we'll go back to the reading. In my past and the things that I've observed and the things that I've seen, because I've read a lot of personal development books and talked about, you know, a lot of relationships and did a lot of research on the topic. And I feel like women and men, we have two different approaches to the way we handle relationships, right? Because think about it. Think about a guy. A guy will, it doesn't matter how beautiful the woman is, or, you know, what level they think they're on, so on and so forth. Some men, it's not everybody. I'm talking about, you know, we'll say maybe the, you know, in general, men will still try to shoot their shot for the woman if they really want them bad enough and they can get past their nerves and not be sitting in this type of energy. They'll go for them, right? They'll go for the woman, even if it means that they may possibly get shot down. And then if you watch their friends generally back them. You know, they don't say, oh, you know, she's too beautiful for you or anything like that. They're like, man, go get her. If you want her, go get her. But with women, societally, and I'm speaking of as someone who grew up in the United States and lived in the United States, but I've lived in other countries as well. I see where we'll, instead of telling our friends to, you know, shoot their shot and go for the, you know, the biggest goal they can get when it comes to men, that we'll tell our friends, because I've been guilty of this as well. You know, oh, maybe, you know, you should just give them a chance, this and this and that or whatever. But let me tell you this, Virgo, male or female, if your person is showing up in this type of energy right here, if you want to be in a relationship, a deep, committed relationship with someone, you got to be as ruthless as men are, okay? Because let me say this, when I was talking about how men are, a lot of times, if you don't meet the standards of what they want, most times they're not even going to approach you. So my thing is, for you women out there, okay, one woman speaking to another, you got to be just as ruthless, because you can't go into a connection and settle for certain things and then act like you don't understand why the relationship is not progressing the way you want it to, or so on and so forth. If you in a situation like this, I don't care if it is your twin or it is a soulmate, okay? Because I had a soulmate come into my situation, and the soulmate completely was in this energy, right? And playing head games and doing all kinds of stuff. And so I'm like, if you're going to do that, you don't get to partake in time with me. You don't get to step into my energy in this type of energy and think that that's okay, or that it's okay to play mind games. I don't have a problem with someone being nervous or being afraid, but if it's to the point to where you can't shoot your shot, or you know, be the type of person you need to be, because to me, if you playing mind games, I don't feel like you're scared. I feel like it's a situation of where maybe your emotional maturity isn't on the level of the other person, or whoever it is you want to be with, or you're not ready to be in a connection. So if a person is showing you this type of stuff at the beginning, I'm all for giving people a chance. But if it seems like this is the current thing and it's not going anywhere, don't be afraid to move on. Okay, that's what I gotta say after all this, because Once you stepped into that self-love, your energy becomes priceless, Virgo. And you develop a lot of dignity, a lot more dignity than you had before the self-love. And when you're in that energy, anybody that's not stepping up to the plate and doing what they need to do, like for me, they got to go. I mean, you have to decide what's best for you. But if you start off a relationship like this, okay, and the person doesn't show any progression, they're still in this energy. I mean, for me, that just wouldn't be something I wanted to entertain. But you know, it's your decision at the end of the day. You have to decide what you want to do. Okay. See, it's a divine counterpart situation because we got the Empress, you showing up as the Empress, and then deep in the cards we had the Emperor. I told you we had the Emperor. So this could be a twin flame connection. It could even be a soulmate connection for some of you because some soulmates can be in this type of energy and not want to tell you and afraid, and you know, because the feelings are spiritual and they're deep. But I'm just saying, I'm not sitting around waiting for people to get it together. I'm moving on with my life, and you have to do what you feel is best, Virgo. Okay. So we've got the Empress. This can talk about, you know, learning how to get more in touch with your softer side. We've talked about this quite a bit. This is Taurus, Libra energy. You know, this is the motherhood card, the creation, you know, the creative card. If you're fertile and you don't want to have kids, you have to, you know, you need to pay attention to this because it is the motherhood card when it shows up. Also with the Empress, this is about you taking your power back, because when you sit in this energy, it don't matter if your emperor is showing up like this. You're not going to put up with it because, like I said, there's 7-8 billion people on the planet. Trust me, you can find somebody else if you need to find someone else. I mean, like I said, but at the end of the day, the decision is up to you. Okay. Okay. So we've got suppression. It says emotionally numb, not allowing oneself to think or feel things, bottling up emotions. Remember what I said? It's about getting in touch with your softer side. So whoever it is that's in this energy, this cowardice card is coming up on your person's side. Okay. But if they're, you know, maybe you may be suppressing some emotions as well, because maybe this person's, you know, their cowardice has hurt you. Okay. And you may be in this type of energy now. And so you have to think about, put yourself first. I always tell you to focus on yourself and what is it that Virgo wants. Okay. What's going to make Virgo happy? And then that's what you need to go after. Okay. When it comes to your person, we've got the Four of Wands, but we also have the Two of Swords. So it's like your person is like in some form of inertia is the word I get. It's like they're sitting and there's some things they don't want to see. Here's the moon. There's some type of unknown thing. So there could be some secrets going on, but this person does want to have a higher level of commitment with you. But if their actions, let me tell you this, Virgo, I keep coming back to this. It's so funny that this is showing up in the cards, because at the end of the day, if this person is not showing up the way that they need to show up, they can love you all day long. They can want this and this be their intention all day long. But if this is what you're getting and this is what you're getting, you may need to look elsewhere. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Okay, let's clarify. Because you know I don't pull no damn punches. You know I'm going to tell you the truth, like it or don't like it. Okay, so we've got guilt wounds. Feel sorry. Uses guilt to manipulate. Afraid to set boundaries. Okay, this is what is coming up for your person. All right. I know I keep showing you the cowardice card, but I'm like, if they're afraid, you know, you have to do what's best for you. You got to put yourself and your well-being first. Okay. Then we've got toxic addiction, substances or behaviors used to numb their feelings, such as drugs, sex, gambling, or alcohol. And then you have to ask yourself, do you want to deal with this? Okay. Because anybody that's with somebody with an addiction, or anybody, period, anybody that you get into a relationship with, Virgo, you're going to pick up things, you know, from them. They're going to pick up things from you. And I know you don't want to, this is a very heavy burden for the actual person that's going through the addiction to carry. So imagine, you have to ask yourself, is this what you want to deal with? Okay. All right. Okay. And then the outcome, Nine of Pentacles. So this to me feels like you know, the decision has already been made, or this is where it's headed. So Nine of Pentacles, this is my bachelor or bachelorette card. Okay. It can talk about you being financially secure, stable, and, you know, financially secure and stable, but you standing in your power and knowing your worth and knowing that this type of stuff and this type of stuff, you don't deserve that, and that you're gonna move on and move into a direction that's going to benefit you. Okay, let's clarify. So we've got mission work, working to embody working to embody one's truest and highest essence and potential, passionately spreading your inner light. Okay, so this is you focusing. I think it's just going to be all about you. You know, making sure you're okay, counting your coin. Okay, and focusing on, you know, what you came here to do, your purpose and your goals in this life. Okay, let me see where your person, because I think you know, some of you are already tired of what's happened in this connection, and like I said, it can drain years of your life. And so my advice to you is, don't wait on anybody. Focus on yourself and loving yourself and being the best person you can be, and when the time is right, the person that, you know, needs to come into your life will come into your life. Okay, and then for your person, we've got the date card here. So this person may be trying to come forward to date you. It could be a situation where they may be trying to date other people. It could be a thing where they're trying to make you jealous by dating other people. Okay, if they see that you are not wanting to put up with certain things that they come with. Okay, all right. So in this connection, Virgo, you know, when it comes to love, lust, or loss, I would call this a loss. And I'm sorry to say that, but then in a way I'm not sorry, because I wouldn't want you to have to go through these things, but it is your choice at the end of the day. If you choose to deal with it, then, you know, my heart goes out to you and I wish you the best. Okay. All right, Virgo, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Libra. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So today we're going to take a look at love, lust, or loss, and see what's going on with you and your person. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want a personal reading, you can email me at the email address in the description box below. Okay. Libra spirit. Okay. Can I have a card for Libra, please? Okay. Card for their person. This one? This? Okay. This one? No? Okay. Hold on. All right. This one too? Okay. All right. And a card for the outcome, please. Okay. All right. Libra. The overall energy for your reading is the Two of Wands. So this could be you at a crossroads. This could be your person. Okay. It could be the both of you going through this same energy at the same time. Okay. This can speak of, you know, two different people, two different paths, two different options that, you know, may be available. And you or your person, or both of you, trying to figure out what to do. Some of you may be trying to decide where you want to live in the world, because we see the guy with the globe. And whenever I'm drawn to that globe, that's, you know, that's possibly what it's talking about. You and this person could be at a distance, or you could just be distant emotionally. Okay. All right. Under this, we've got the King of Cups, water sign, or someone with a lot of water in their chart: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So your person could have these placements, or you could have them. Also with the King of Cups, it talks about like balance, like learning how to find the balance between your mind and heart with the King of Cups. Okay. This is someone who tends to be very mature, very in touch with their emotions. Okay. And then under this, we've got the Page of Wands, fire sign, or someone with a lot of fire in their chart: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. With this Page of Wands, there could be some excitement or curiosity around this connection. And then we've got the Nine of Pentacles, which, you know, speaks of someone coming to this connection from a place of power. So you or your person could be in the energy, where you're able to make this decision, okay, from a place of power because you've worked on yourself, okay? And if it's you, I'm proud of you for working on yourself because I know it's not easy. Okay, so we're going to clarify this Two of Wands. So we've got guilt wounds on your side, and the guilt wounds is talking about, feeling sorry, using guilt to manipulate, and being afraid to set boundaries. Okay, so whatever these wounds are, they could be affecting this connection. Okay, then we've got your person is showing up with ego. So this is talking about fear, anxiety, limiting beliefs, toxic thinking patterns. So your person may be someone who has, a lot of issues to deal with when it comes to relationships. Maybe there have been some things that they haven't cleared up. And because of that, with the ego card, that's why the ego card is showing up, because they're not wanting to. Sometimes it shows up when there are things you need to take a look at, but for whatever reason, you're avoiding them. Okay. So your person could have some toxic things that they need to take a look at. All right. So when it comes to the card we have for you, we have the World. This is all signs. It is talking about you overcoming personal challenges. So I feel like this Nine of Pentacles that was showing up here, I feel like this card is representing you and the challenges that you may have overcome in order for you to be a better version of yourself. Okay. This is also talking about closing out cycles. So for some of you, there may have been some limiting beliefs or things that were going on in your life that needed to be put to bed. And I feel like you've been working on those with the World. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, so we've got anger. Okay, there is something that happened in this connection that caused you a lot of anger. Maybe this person didn't show up the way that you showed up. Maybe they promised you a lot of things and then walked away or didn't execute. It could be a million different reasons why this anger is here, but I feel like, that may be something you're working on, or it could be just a situation where so many things have happened to you in the past that you're showing up in this anger energy. All right. And like I said, you're dealing with it, and that's a good thing. Okay. So when it comes to your person, we have two cards that fell. We have the Empress. Okay, which is Taurus Libra energy. And we also have the Seven of Wands. Okay. So with the Empress, this person could be your divine counterpart. Also with the Empress, this can speak of just needing to get more in touch with your softer side with the Empress card. So your person may be someone who is very analytical and they focus more on thoughts than they do their feelings. Okay. And they may focus more on logic than their feelings. And then we've got the Seven of Wands. So this person may feel like they've done some things where they have to defend themselves. Also with the Seven of Wands, this may be speaking of the fact that your person may have to fight for you because it is you that has the choice between two different loves or two different options. It could be more than two with this Two of Wands. Just because there are two wands here, it could be more than that. All right. But usually if it's more than that, Spirit will give me the Seven of Cups. So whatever's going on, that's so funny that this card showed up, because earlier today when I was looking at the cards, this card fell out of the deck. And like I said, your person, whether you're in a relationship or were and you're no longer in one, this is what this is saying, is that they're going to have to eat their Wheaties and come forward like a king or a queen and fight for this relationship if that's what they're wanting. Okay, let's clarify. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we've got crossroads. So your person, it's both of you that are at the crossroads and has to decide. Okay, with the Two of Wands. Okay, so both of you may have other options that you need to take a look at. And then we've got the music card here. It says messages received through music and lyrics. So this person may be communicating with you. They may be a soulmate, and you may be getting sent, musical lyrics, random things showing up in your mind. And, it could be messages from your person. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the outcome, we've got the Three of Pentacles. So this is talking about, it could possibly be a third party situation because we've got three here. This talks about collaboration, like the two of you coming together and working together and realizing that this relationship is what you want and it being an important part of your life, and you're both willing to do the work that's necessary in order to keep it together. Okay, it could be the two of you going to counseling. When I see this card, sometimes that's what I think of as well, but it's about, okay, the two of you working together. So see, we've got divine masculine here showing up on your side, and then we have the Empress showing up on this side, and the Empress is the divine feminine. Okay, so this is, for some of you, is a soulmate or possibly a twin flame connection. Okay, because you will still get messages received through music and lyrics with your person as well if they're a soulmate. Then we've got guidance. It says from higher self, spirit, trusted family or friends, anyone with wisdom. So you are listening to your intuition, listening to your guides, listening to the people around you who make sense, I feel like, with this card. Okay, let me clarify for your person. Okay, so we've got two cards here. This is a lesson. Okay, there's some lessons that your person needs to learn in this connection. Valuable soul lessons needed to make self whole again. So there's some things they're going through, okay, that they've been needing to go through, because like I said, they may be going through an ego death when I see this card as well. Okay, and then we also have self-deception. It says denying one's truth, allowing oneself to believe that a false or unvalidated feeling, idea, or situation is true. Okay, so this person is, I feel like, possibly deluding themselves about this connection. Maybe they got into it and came at you, and they realized that, they feel more for you than they thought that they would in the beginning. Maybe it has, not run its course, but it's escalated. And, because when you first step into something, or you first meet someone who is a soulmate or a twin flame or so on and so forth, sometimes you don't know it in the beginning, and then when you try to walk away or you try to move forward, and leave it alone, and it's not easy to walk away from, or there's some type of, contention or anxiety and pain and whatnot, especially if you haven't known the person for a long time. Those are some signs that it could be a soulmate or a twin flame connection. Okay. All right. So in the realm of love, lust, or loss, I would call this connection a possible, if your person is gets themselves together, I would call it a love connection. Okay. But for some of you, it may possibly be a loss because we have a third party situation. But I feel like that the options are on both sides, that you both have other people to choose from. So you've got to figure out, Libra, what is best for you, and decide, what you want to do and where you want to go and how you want this to play out. Okay. All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So today we're going to take a look at love, lust, or loss between you and your person and see what's going on with you. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can email me at the email address in the description box below. Okay. Somebody might be coming back from your past, Scorpio. May I have one card for Scorpio, please? Okay. One card for their person. Look, this fell out when I was trying to pull your cards. Okay, and the outcome. All right. Okay, Scorpio. Overall energy for this reading is the Three of Pentacles. This is talking about collaboration, like you and your person being together and, working on things together. This is the type of relationship you want, where both you and your person have the same mindset about what it is you want in a relationship, and the both of you being willing to do the work in order to have it come to fruition. Okay. Under this, we've got the Eight of Wands. This can speak of manifestation, like you're trying to manifest this outcome. Look, under here is the Two of Cups. This is talking about, you and your person having, a strong connection, mutual attraction between each other. For some people, this is the twin flame card, but this is a soulmate card. So this person may be a twin flame or a soulmate. And I feel like, you've been working on yourself with the world card, trying to overcome, lots of opportunities. I mean, trying to overcome personal challenges so you can open up the door to new opportunities. Okay. All right. Let's clarify this Three of Pentacles. Let me get another one. Okay. So, okay. You've been angry about something, Scorpio. I feel like this may have to do with the state of affairs when it comes to your love life. I feel like you were expecting something to have happened by now in your love life. And I feel like you're very disappointed with the anger card. Then we've got love. It says love unconditionally, unselfishly, with no limitations. This is how Scorpio loves. I'm a Scorpio, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is what people don't understand about us. We get a bad rap, and, they always want to talk about, we're difficult and we're this and we're that. But deep down inside, what it is we're very sensitive. But when you're in good with us, you're in good all the way until you fuck it up. And so I feel like, with this love card, Spirit is just saying this is who you truly are. And I feel like you have not been getting that from the other people that you've given this unconditional love to. You haven't been getting it in return. And because of that, this is why the anger is showing up. And I feel like you're justified in that anger and justified to feel that way. So that's why it's not so easy to get in with a Scorpio, because once this happens over and over and over again, and you give and you give and you give and you give, but you don't get that in return, you become like this, right? But, at the end of the day, like I always tell you, that's what this life is about. Can you go through the slings and arrows of life and still love unconditionally, love unselfishly, with no limitations? And I feel like, no matter what happens, you shouldn't stop loving people this way. But I'm saying this with a caveat. You have to make sure that the people that you let into your life, you have to really be discerning about who you let into your life before you get to this point, because it needs to be somebody that deserves it, And I feel like a lot of times we initially think the person deserves it, but then it ends up like this, right? Okay. But I feel like whatever connection you were in with someone, okay, or whatever dalliance, it may have been a false start between you and this person. I feel like it fell apart. Like you thought it was going to go somewhere. You thought it was going to be promising. You thought it was going to be a collaboration, an equal collaboration between two people, but it ended up being something else. Okay. And then, like I said, with the Three of Pentacles, whenever there's three, this always makes me wonder if maybe there wasn't a third party involved. It could have been a third party that you didn't know about. Okay. But, it may have been going on. Okay. So when we come to the card that fell for you, we have the Strength card. This is Leo energy. This is you holding yourself back. I feel like this situation is about you learning from what happened with this person, that you had a false start with them, and you're holding yourself back from the situation now because of it. And this is about you believing in yourself and knowing that even though you came to the table like this, but you didn't get that in return, I feel like, this is Spirit saying that this is about you learning how to believe in yourself and to know that, one day there's going to be a person that shows up in your life that's going to love you back like this. Okay. It won't always be this way, Scorpio. I know y'all get sad and some of y'all want to give up, but it won't always be this way. So this is about balance. It says feeling harmonious within due to feminine and masculine energies being balanced. Okay. You got to look at, if this is a pattern, this is something that's been occurring in your life, all your life or over a period of time, you've got to look at what those limiting beliefs are, because people can only show up in your energy. As I've told you in the past, the way you believe they're going to show up, the way you assume they're going to show up. Okay. Okay. And then we've got cloud 9. Okay, this person may have made you feel like you were on cloud nine in the beginning. You may have felt like, you had finally met someone with whom you had a meeting of the minds, and the two of you may have had a lot of things in common. There may have been a lot of talking, a lot of back and forth with this person. And like I said, I feel like for a lot of you, this person may have made you believe that they were serious and they wanted to really have something with you, and may have even mentioned certain things, like, said certain things, like to make you believe that they were including you in their current and future plans. But I don't think, that it panned out. Okay. They were talking the talk, but not walking the walk. Okay. So when it comes to your person, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. This person is reaping what they sow. Okay. That's what this is telling me. Okay. This is also telling me that I feel like this person is trying to be patient. Okay. If the two of you had a false start and the two of you are not on speaking terms right now, I think this person is waiting for the right time to try to come back towards you. Okay. But whether or not you accept them is up to you. Let me clarify their card. Yeah. See, this may be somebody that has, like, they may be a drinker or someone who likes to get high or something like that. Because whenever I see this card, the clouded and the smoke, that's what it makes me think of. So it says clouded, unable to think clearly, unable to make decisions, poor concentration. This person doesn't know what they want, Scorpio. They don't know what they want. That's why their judgment is clouded. That's why their actions are clouded. That's why what is going on is going on. This person is thinking, and I don't think anything is coming of it. I feel like it's like they're going around and around in their head, and they're not owning whatever they did for this relationship or this connection or, situationship to fall apart, or for the two of you to have a false start. Whatever part they played in it, I don't feel like they're taking responsibility for it, is what I feel like with this Seven of Pentacles. And then we've got complete. Loves unconditionally, unselfishly, with no limitations. Okay. For some of you, this person could love like that. But what does this matter if the person is not showing up the way that they're supposed to? If they're not taking action, if they're not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated, it doesn't matter. I feel like this at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how someone feels about you if they don't treat you properly. Okay. If they're leaving you on red, right? And not, you're texting back and forth and they're not answering your messages. That's not how you treat someone you care about, right? If they are asking you all about yourself, but then, answering questions with questions, or not telling you, what it is you're asking for, evading and not being upfront about certain things. It doesn't matter. None of this matters if their actions are not matching what they're saying. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the outcome, we've got the Six of Swords. So I feel like this is you moving on, Scorpio. I feel like you're just sick of it. You're tired of it. You're tired of people coming in your face doing this, and then it ending up being like this. Okay. So I feel like you're moving forward. Okay. Whatever the patterns, the repeating patterns are in this connection, Spirit is telling you that that's something you need to take a look at, and you need to heal within you so that you don't go through this again. Okay. There was something you were supposed to learn from this connection. For some of you, this, like I said, it could have been a soulmate connection, a spiritual connection, some type of spiritual connection. And I feel like that kind of made it difficult for you to move forward. Okay. But I feel like now you are, with this Six of Swords, you're moving out of rough waters into calmer waters. It may have taken some of you a bit of time in order to be able to move forward, because maybe you were waiting, thinking that this person was gonna have a come to Jesus moment. I just saw 11:11. Maybe you were thinking this person was gonna have a come to Jesus moment and finally come forward and take responsibility, take accountability for their part they played in the demise of your connection, and they didn't do that. Okay. And so now you're like, F it, and you're moving forward. Okay. Let's clarify. We're going to get a card from you and a card from from your person's side. Okay, so we've got passive, avoiding direct or clear communication, fear of intimacy or competition, making excuses, blaming others, playing the victim, hiding anger. So like I said, I feel like you're very angry about this. I feel like this person really hurt your feelings because, like I said, they sold you a dream. They made you believe that they, you know, they were serious. They really wanted to be with you. But then at the end of the day, I mean, it's crazy. It's like you were on cloud nine, but this person was just damn clouded. You see that? Okay, let me pull a card for them. Okay, so yeah, we've got this person being very self-critical, unreasonable expectations, exaggerates the negatives, extremely judgmental of themselves. So this person's got some things that they need to work on within themselves. I'm not saying that, you know, anybody has to be perfect or that, you know, anybody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But with this self-critical card, this person realizes that they did something wrong, that, you know, they were the cause of this not working out the way I feel like deep down inside both of you wanted. Because look, we've got complete here and we've got love here. And I feel like this is really how you both felt deep down inside about the connection. But I feel like you were trying to show that that's what you wanted, Scorpio, but this other person was doing some mind games, playing you know, doing some crap with you. Okay, like being very manipulative. And I feel like you know, you just weren't having it. So when it comes to the realm of love, lust, or loss, I feel like for this person, you know, it's a loss. I don't feel like it's a loss for you, because how can someone manipulating you, someone who has clouded judgment, someone who can't take accountability, how is that a loss for you? To me, I feel like you dodged a bullet, even though it doesn't feel good. And, you know, right now, that's me saying that. I'm sure it's not, you know, it's not very helpful. But when you look back on this in the future, I'm pretty sure you're going to realize that what Spirit is telling you is, you know, is correct. Okay. All right. So my heart goes out to you, Scorpio. Trust me, I know how you feel. Keep moving along. Keep working on yourself. Don't give up. The person that is for you is going to show up. But you have to, you know, you have to believe, you have to know that it's going to happen. Okay. All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, if you'd like to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box below, or the email is in the description box below. And have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So today we're going to do a reading for love, lust, or loss. We're going to see what is going on between you and your person. Okay. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please email me at the email address below in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. Card for Sagittarius, please. Okay. Card for the person. An outcome. Okay. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. Overall energy, Knight of Wands, fire sign, or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Ooh, this is repeating. So this is someone that may have been taking a risk towards you, or you may have taken a risk towards them. This could have also been someone who was in and out, very fickle, not being very, not talking the talk and walking the walk. Okay. Under this, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, earth sign, or someone with a lot of earth in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is what I believe that you wanted, Sagittarius, somebody to take their time, to move slowly, to be very ambitious, but also with the Knight of Pentacles to, you know, want to deliver something to you that's stable and secure. Okay. A grounded relationship with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. There was a Tower moment with the Scorpio energy. So things may have went left with the both of you when it comes to the Tower. Okay. We're going to take a look, but somebody's holding themselves back, because I see the Four of Pentacles underneath the Tower. So let's look at the Knight of Wands. Okay. So we're clarifying. So we've got abundance. Okay. And then we've got secrets. So there were secrets. There may have been somebody, a third party in this situation. There may have been things that this person may have portrayed themselves to you one way when actually it was another. Okay. I feel like you wanted this connection to be abundant, but the secrets, the things that this person was hiding, or both of you could have secrets. It doesn't have to be one way, but this is coming up on your side. So I feel like, whatever was going on, it contributed to the downfall of this connection. And then we've got optimism on your person's side saying, I can't do it, and it's changing to I can. So it could be that this person was afraid to approach you, or afraid to truly be themselves. They may have been afraid to offer you the commitment that you were wanting with the Knight of Pentacles. They could have wanted a commitment, but at the end of the day, people in hell want ice water. And if the person is saying one thing but they're not backing it up, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm all good with the intentions and stuff like that, but you have to put action behind that, is what I believe. Okay. So when it comes to the card we have for you, yeah, we got the Five of Cups. This is talking about, some type of heartbreak, breakup, separation, crying over spilled milk, some things that have happened. And, like I said, it may have been a third party situation here, because we got the secrets card down here. And we also have 3 cups here that, that your figure, the person representing you, is focused on. But what Spirit wants you to remember is that, yes, you have to go through your grief. Yes, you have to go through your disappointment and your hurt and your pain. But don't forget that, there are opportunities that are still awaiting you, even if you're not ready for them yet. Okay. So it's not the end of the world, is what Spirit is telling you, even though it may feel like it. Okay. So we've got music, messages received through music and lyrics. There are a lot of soulmate and twin flame connections going on that I've been pulling lately. And then we've got the forgiving card. Okay. So I feel like this is not just about forgiving the other person. It's also about you forgiving yourself. Okay. You may be beating yourself up over this connection because there may have been red flags that you purposefully ignored, because I see the red there. That's why I'm saying that. It's also, a situation where, you may have been blaming yourself for what happened, but I don't feel like it takes 2 to tango. And I don't feel like it was a one-sided thing. I feel like whatever happened in this connection, there was something that your person contributed to it as well. Okay. When it comes to your person, we've got the King of Swords, air sign, or someone with a lot of air in their chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This could be somebody in the military. It could be somebody that is on the police force. This is somebody very independent. They, are all about logic. They, it may be difficult for them to emote or to show or talk about their emotions, but that doesn't, to me, that, that's neither here nor there. Because if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you do what is necessary in order to facilitate that, to make that happen. And so with the King of Swords, this is about somebody also who has very high standards, and they pretty much, I guess, don't suffer fools lightly, or don't suffer fools at all. Meaning, if they, they are independent and they're, okay with their independence, but this is somebody you would have to hold their attention in order to keep them interested. So you got to ask yourself at the end of the day, is that something that you're up for? Because nobody should have to, I don't know, jump through hoops for anybody else. Not like that. So look, again, we have music coming up on your side, and we've got telepathy here. So it says able to hear each other's thoughts and converse mentally, able to sense each other's feelings and moods. So it could be a situation where you get a strong thought about this person, and then all of a sudden you're being texted by them. Or if they're thinking about you, you can feel them thinking about you. Like I said, there may be music, random songs being sent to you or showing up in your mind, and it may be from your person. So this person is very self-critical. They have unreasonable expectations. They exaggerate the negatives, and they're extremely judgmental of themselves. So people that are usually very hard on themselves are also hard on other people. So they've got some things going on that I feel like, they're going to have to address. It may be a situation where if the two of you had a false start, or if this just didn't work out, they may have had trouble coming forward and taking accountability for the things that they did wrong. Because like I said, when I keep seeing this Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands is like normally the fickle knight, the one that comes in and out, in and out. They never stay in. It could be a situation where they have other options. All these types of things come to mind when I see the Knight of Wands. Okay. So when it comes to the outcome between the two of you, we've got the Sun. This is Leo energy. Like I said, it's a soulmate connection because this is a soulmate card. Let me see what Spirit wants to tell you about the Sun. Okay. This is about you learning balance. Okay. It says feeling harmonious within due to feminine and masculine energies being balanced. Okay. This person is what happened between the two of you. I feel like this is something that's going on in the collective. What happened between the two of you happened for you to learn something from it. So whatever things that were happening in this connection that have been a pattern for you, or something that's shown up in other relationships that you've had in the past, that's something you need to take a look at, Sagittarius. That's why it's showing up. And I feel like this relationship is getting you ready for the next one, which I feel like is being categorized by the Sun. Okay. We also have suppression, emotionally numb, not allowing oneself to think or feel things, bottling up emotions. So it could be you doing this as well, because this is your card that I pulled for the suppression. So if two people are having issues dealing with their emotions, then it's not going to be easy. Yeah, see, it's not going to be easy for the two of you to be in a relationship together. See, this person is working on vulnerability, feeling fear and doing it anyway, opening up and sharing their quote unquote weakness. This person sees vulnerability as a weakness. And for some of you, you may see it as well, because society teaches us that if you're an emotional person, you're weak. And that's not true, because you have to have both sides. That's why the balance card is showing up. Logic has its place and emotion has its place as well. And I don't feel like one or the both are dirty. They just have their time and place. And in a relationship, you're going to have to show emotion, because if you don't show emotion, it's not going to work. And then we've got reconciliation. So this person could be coming back to you. Okay. If everything continues to move in the direction it's moving in, and because we got free will, and free will always trumps what we're being shown here. This person may be thinking about coming back and being vulnerable to reconcile with you. Okay. But like I said, you have to figure out how to balance yourself out. Focus on yourself. Okay. I always tell you that. I know you want to focus on the other person. I know you wanting to be with another person. You want their love, but focus on loving yourself, because a relationship is just what is going on with you. Okay. It's all about the relationship you have with yourself, the type of relationships you're going to have with other people. So if you're feeling, that you have to suppress your emotions, you have to ask yourself, why do you feel like that? Okay. We all are going to get hurt. It doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship or whether you're not in a relationship. And I'm not making light of it, because if you hear me chuckle, I'm laughing because these are things that I'm telling myself the same thing. I'm not just telling y'all, but you've got to figure out why you're suppressing the emotion. You're suppressing what has happened to you in the past that's made you feel like this. I see 1111 on the camera. And you got to figure out how to balance yourself out, because you've got to open yourself up to have a healthy relationship. Okay, Sagittarius, you have to do that if that's what you're wanting, and your person has to learn how to do it as well. So I feel like, they may take the extra step to come forward and be vulnerable with you and let you know how they feel. I hope that they do. But, whether you and this person stay together or continue on together, it remains to be seen. It's your decision at the end of the day. Okay. So, excuse me, when this comes to love, lust, or loss, I feel like for most of you, this is a love connection. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box below, or the email address is in the description box below. So take care. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So for today, we are going to focus on love, lust, or loss. We're going to see what's going on between you and your person and see what the outcome is going to be between the two of you if things continue to move in the direction you want them to, okay? Or if things continue to move in the direction that they're moving, all right? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can email me at the email address that's in the description box below, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this is for Capricorn Spirit. What messages do you have for Capricorn? Okay, this is for Capricorn. All right. May I have a card for Capricorn, please? Okay. Card for that person. All right. Is upside down. And then the outcome, please. Okay. Okay. All right, Capricorn. It's been a long time. Let's see what's going on in your love life, okay? Overall energy is the Four of Cups. So this is talking about feeling like you had a missed opportunity, okay? There may have been third party for some of you because we have the 3 cups here and the person is fixated on these 3 cups. So that could have been what derailed what happened between the two of you if you had a false start. But because this is showing up as a missed opportunity, what I'm seeing is that something did happen between the two of you, even if you're together at this point, okay? Underneath this, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So I feel like this is what you want. You want collaboration. You want teamwork. You want to work together with your person in order to, you know, go ahead and produce the type of relationship you're wanting. You want a very cohesive, grounded, stable relationship. And I feel like, you know, this card is representative of that. Okay. But somebody was playing games, I feel like, with this 5 of Swords here. Okay. It could have been you, could have been the other person, but someone may have walked away from the connection because I see these people here walking away, and someone may even be crying about what transpired between you and the other person. Okay. All right. Yeah. See, somebody did walk away. Look, there's the 8 of Cups. Okay. So this may have been somebody that you were with for a while, because we do have 8 cups here. So it could have been 8 weeks, could have been 8 months. For some of you, it could have been 8 years, but you know, that's not going to apply to everybody. But I feel like whoever this is walking away, they're headed towards what it is that they really want, the 9 of Cups, which is, you know, wish fulfillment. And with this moon here, I feel like there may have been some secrets that came out in the connection between the two of you, okay? And that may have caused things to be where they are right now, okay? So let's start by clarifying this 4 cups. Okay, we have for you, oh, I'm sorry to see this, Capricorn, heartbreak. So whatever happened between you and this person, you ended up getting your heart broken. And like I said, my heart goes out to you because I know how this feels. I've been here, you know, many times, and I'm sure, you know, a lot of you, this is not your first time with this happening. There's 333 on the camera, but we're going to take a look at your person and see what's going on with them. Okay, so nostalgia. Okay, this is like the 6 of Cups for me. This person could be a soulmate. This is someone that thinks about the both of you and the memories that the two of you made together in the time that you were together with the nostalgia card. Okay, so when it comes to your card that fell, we have the 2 of Cups. So this is you having a strong attraction, mutual connection with someone. This could have been, like I said, it's a soulmate connection because this is a soulmate card. Okay, so something has happened between the two of you. You may have had a false start. Maybe you came together and things looked promising, and then something happened and you ended up in this, you know, you ended up in this 4 of Cups energy here. Okay, let me clarify and see what's coming up. 2 of Cups, please. Okay, so we've got recognition. It says being proud of oneself, giving oneself credit for all the hard work that's been put into one's journey of healing. So Spirit is telling me that you've been working on yourself, okay? That this is what you ultimately want in a relationship, and you're doing the work on yourself so that you can have that come to fruition, okay? But you may have had somebody come into your life, and after all the work you've done on yourself, and things may have ended up like they did in the past, there may be patterns that are occurring. And if this is happening, I feel like the reason why is because there's still some things that you may need to address in order to get past this block when it comes to relationships. I don't want to call it block, but limiting beliefs that you may have about relationships, because people can only show up in your energy, based on what signature you're putting out. Okay. And like I said, a lot of times we're putting out something subconsciously that we don't even realize we're doing until we see it play out in the 3D. Okay. All right. So when it comes to your person, oh wow, heartbreak, breakup, separation. So there was an ending between the two of you. And see, we got threes again. We got the three of swords. So there was some type of third party for some of you. This may not apply to everyone, but for a few of you, it was a third party situation. Okay. Let me clarify. Okay. So we've got music, messages received through music and lyrics. This person may be sending you messages through songs. Because it doesn't matter if they're a twin flame or they're a soulmate, they can still communicate with you that way. Okay. Let me see if I can get another card about what's going on here. Okay. So we have trigger. So something happened between the two of you. Okay. That triggered this person. Maybe they have issues with commitment. It could be a situation where they may have felt pressured, but whatever happened, it triggered them and it caused them to run in the other direction or to do something to break your heart. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to the outcome, we've got the Hermit. Okay. This is Virgo energy. This could represent the person that's older in the connection, but it doesn't have to. With the Hermit, this is healing. Okay. Trying to go through what you need to go through, learn what it is you need to learn to come out in this energy. This is like deep thoughts, contemplation. I feel like this is what you're doing. Okay. You're trying to recognize what is happening, the patterns that are occurring in your life, Capricorn, so that you can do better, be better, and have a different outcome to your relationships. Okay. Let me clarify the Hermit. So yeah, we've got guidance. You're listening to your intuition. You're getting guidance from the people around you who you feel are, have wisdom, quote unquote wisdom. Okay. It could be some, older people in your family. It could be, just older friends that you have. And like I said, your guides. Okay. So your person is wanting to compromise, but I don't necessarily feel like the compromise that this person is wanting may be something that you're looking for, because I feel like whatever happened with this third party situation, I don't know which side it was on. It could have been, I feel like it was on your person's side, because we got the three showing up here. And then I feel like this card is representing you with the false start, the, this opportunity that didn't pan out. I feel like this card represents you. Okay. And then we got threes here with the Three of Pentacles. And remember, I told you, whenever I see a lot of threes like that, that spirit telling me that there may have been a third party involved. And it doesn't always have to be a person. It could have been something that this person was focusing on that they were putting before you. It could have been work. It could have been another person. It could have been some type of like substance. It could be anything. Okay. And by substance, it doesn't have to be anything illegal. It doesn't have to be drugs. It could be food. It could be anything. Okay. But I feel like you expected this out of the connection between the two of you, because this is a soulmate. It's a spiritual connection, but what you got was this. Okay. All right. So I am sorry to hear that, you got your heart broken in this situation and that you got hurt in this situation, Capricorn. Okay. But this is about you learning to recognize the red flags and seeing what you can do to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And by me saying that, I'm not saying that, this was, in any way your fault. Okay. Because we have these limiting beliefs. They are subconscious, but they're going to continue to play out the way that they do until we do something to, circumvent them, to stop it from happening. Okay. All right. So when it comes to this connection being a love, lust, or loss, I feel like for some of you, it may possibly be love, because this person may come back and compromise. But the question is, if they're dealing with somebody else or they're putting things before you, you have to ask yourself, Capricorn, even if they're willing to compromise, do you want to be involved with someone who is not prioritizing you? That's the question you have to ask. But the answer to that question, you have to answer it. Nobody else can answer it. Okay. All right. So for some of you, it may be love. For others of you, I feel like this is a loss here, because, you got your heart broken. And I feel like this person may have done so as well, because they're showing up as the Three of Swords. Okay. And remember, I told you somebody was crying, and somebody walked away and somebody was crying about what happened in this connection. It could have been both of you. It could have been, one or the other. All right. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the email address is in the description box below. And, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So for today, we are going to take a look at love, lust, or loss between you and your person and see what's going on. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. This is for Aquarius spirit. Okay. May I have one card for Aquarius, please? Okay. One card for their person. Okay. And the outcome. Okay. All right, Aquarius. Whew. Okay. Overall energy is the Eight of Cups. So you may have walked away from something, or your person may have, or the both of you may have. This to me is sounding like a false start between you and this person. Okay. Or for some of you, you could have been with this person for a while, because we got 8 cups here, and 8 cups, the maximum is 10. If we've got 8 cups here, this is something that's been brewing for a while. It could have been 8 weeks, 8 months, for some of you, 8 years. Okay. But this is about walking off into the distance, into the future, and going for what it is you really want. The 9 of Cups, your wish fulfillment. Okay. Under this, we've got the Knight of Cups, water sign, or someone with a lot of water in their chart: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is talking about a love offer. I don't know if this love offer came from you to the other person, or the other person came towards you with a love offer. But this was something where, heart open, heart on your sleeve, completely open, vulnerable, and letting the other person know how you feel. Under this, we've got the Devil. Okay. This is Capricorn energy. It can speak of a passionate connection. It can also speak of obsession. So one of you may be obsessed with the other person, or vice versa, or you both could be. Okay. There was some type of betrayal that occurred here, because we not only have the 10 of Swords, but we have the 7. Okay. The 7 is straight up betrayal. It could have been some type of third party. It could have been somebody getting away with something. Also, with this 10 of Swords, both of these cards can speak of betrayal and can speak of third parties. Okay. Somebody was stabbed in the back with this 10 of Swords here. Okay. And the person is trying to get away with it, whoever did it, whether it's your side, from your side, or the other side. I feel like this was a connection where I hear Whitney Houston in my head singing, didn't we almost have it all? So I feel like this was a connection where you and this person could have had it all, if whatever this was that's being represented by the 10 of Swords and the 7 of Swords didn't happen. Okay. Because you got both of these cards, and both of these cards are heavy hitters. When they come up, that means something really crazy went on between the two of you. Okay. All right. Yeah. And one person, somebody's watching. We know you're watching because you're watching tarot, but your person could be watching you as well. This could speak of delays as well. Okay. All right, let's clarify this Eight of Cups here. We're going to pull a card from your side and a card from your person's side. So what we've got for you is burnout. Okay, so I feel like you're burned out when it comes to this connection. Things didn't go at all the way you were wanting them to. Okay, like I said, I still hear Whitney Houston singing in my head. Didn't we almost have it all? So I feel like this relationship, this possible relationship, this false start had promise, but something happened between the two of you to cause you to be in this burnout. You may have been trying to hold the connection together by yourself, and this is where you've ended up feeling burnout. Okay, this reminds me of the Ten of Wands. Then we've got suppression, not allowing oneself to think or feel things, bottling up emotions. This is your person. So your person, you may have come towards your person. This may have been you with the Knight of Cups here, because you wanted to be, open and honest and be vulnerable and let this person know exactly how you felt. And this person may have commitment issues. They may be going through, certain things. I'm not trying to make, excuses for them, but something happened where this person suppresses their emotions, and I don't think they reciprocated what it was you were offering. Okay. All right. So we have the card that fell for you is the Five of Swords. Okay. So I feel like this is you walking away from the connection. I feel like this person played a lot of mind games with you, played a lot of games, just period. Okay. And you got sick of it and just cut it off. Okay, walked away. There may have been some crying, some upset, some anxiety, that type of thing, because this card is making me think about this person here. Crying is making me think about the Nine of Swords. Okay, so you may have been worried about the connection, trying to keep it together, doing what you could to try to do that, and I don't think that you were successful. So we've got the card Passion that fell. So that is reminding me of the devil, because the devil is not just about obsession, it's also about a passionate connection. Okay, but there may be some things going on, some substances, some substance abuse, some kind of something, because it can talk about that kind of thing as well. Then we've got the Warrior. It says a sacred mix of masculine and feminine energy, strength, determination, and courage, receptivity, spirituality, and tenderness. Yin and yang are balanced. So this is about you sitting in this balanced energy so you can have what it is that you want. Okay, I know that you trying to do this is not easy. Okay, it's not easy, but for all the work that you've done, you should be proud of yourself. This may be one of the reasons why you're feeling the burnout, is because you're trying to spin a lot of plates, keep a lot of things going at one time in order for you to, have the type of relationship you want. And I feel like not just the type of relationship you want, but the type of life you want, Aquarius. Okay. So when it comes to your person, we've got the Four of Swords. Okay, there's a lot of things going on when it comes to like thoughts. Okay, so this person looks like they're taking the time out. They're resting. Sometimes this card can represent hospitalization. I don't know if that's what's happening with your person, but if it is, my heart goes out to them. But I feel like this person is just taking a break from whatever happened between the two of you. Okay, they're thinking a lot about what happened, but ultimately they're not really doing anything action wise. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, so we've got spirituality. So this is a spiritual connection between the both of you. This person may be exploring their spirituality. They may be going through an ego death. I mean, there could be a lot of different things going on with this card, because remember I told you this card can represent prayer as well. Okay, let me pull one more card for that, because you got two. Okay, so look, see, you're coming up for them. Divine feminine, sacred feminine, masculine recognizes this feminine, his feminine, and the connection. Okay, this is a spiritual connection. This person, I feel like, is starting to realize it. They may be trying to pull away from it, okay, with the suppression card, but I don't think it's going to be that easy for them to break away and to walk away from this connection, because it is spiritual. And you think you can get away scot-free, but you can't. You can't. It doesn't matter if you've known this person for 8 years or 8 days. it's not that easy. It doesn't, you can't just walk away unscathed when it's a spiritual connection. Okay. Okay. When it comes to the outcome, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this may be a situation where the two of you may come back together. You may be going to counseling. There may be a situation where the two of you try to put things together. But you know what I always tell you, Aquarius, okay? If this person is not stepping up and not doing the things that they need to do, and they're suppressing their emotions while you're trying to be vulnerable and be open, you got to do what's best for you, okay? That could be why you're in the burnout phase, because maybe you're trying to get them out of this suppression phase, but they may not be budging or may not be moving at the speed that you're wanting them to move in this situation. So Spirit's advice to you is to follow your heart and do what is necessary for you to focus on yourself. I always tell you this because this is of the utmost importance, because what is playing out with you and your person has to do with the relationship that you have for yourself. So if you're being ignored by this person, you have to ask yourself, where in your life are you not showing up for yourself like you need to? If it's a situation where the two of you are not in communication, same thing. Where is it that you're not listening to yourself? You're not allowing yourself to be heard. You got to think about these things. Like I said, it sounds crazy. It sounds like counterintuitive, but it's really the way that it works. The more you love yourself, the less you're willing to put up with shit like this. Okay? Because I tell you, focus on yourself. Do what is best for you. If you're burnt out with this situation, walk away. Feel free to walk away anytime you're ready, because there are 8 billion people on this planet, Aquarius, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you can find somebody else. This is a spiritual connection. It's very strong. It feels very alluring. It's very passionate, right? We know this, but you've got to put yourself and your welfare first. But like I said, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, so what we've got here, it says karma, paying off karmic debts owed from past lives and the present life. So this may be a situation, I see 1111 on the camera, where there is karma between you and this person that has to play out in this lifetime. Okay, and for your person, stability. So your person is learning how to stabilize themselves. See, they can't be in a connection with you and give you stability if they can't even give it to themselves. So they've got some things that I feel like they're working on, and that's why the Four of Swords is showing up, because it's kind of like I said, for me, it's like the mini hermit. They're thinking about, what happened between the two of you, the role that they played in it. And if they were the one playing mind games and suppressing their feelings, which is what Spirit is saying, then you have to ask yourself, is this something you want to put up with? Because if this is the early stages of this connection, Aquarius, and this person is already acting like this, then what's going to happen in the future? Okay, because you're supposed to be on your best behavior, right? When you first meet somebody and you're getting to know someone and so on and so forth, and it doesn't matter. People can tell you all day long, Aquarius, that they love you, but it's the actions. That's what you have to pay attention to. Their words and their actions have to align. They have to align, and if they're not aligning, then something is wrong. Okay? All right. So I wish you the best of luck. I hope, you're able to come to a decision that's going to be best for you. But like I said, Spirit is telling you to focus on yourself, to keep, to not be thwarted by what happened in this connection. Okay. Take the lesson from it and move forward, because as you continue to move forward out of the 8 of Cups, you're going straight into the 9 of Cups, which is your wish come true. Okay. So in the realm of love, lust, or loss, for some of you, this may be a loss. For some of you, it may be love. It's going to be different for everybody, because I see different things going on within the collective. Okay. All right. So take care of yourself, Aquarius. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box below, or the email address. My email address is in the description box below. Okay. So take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Pisces. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. So for today, what we're going to do is take a look at you and your person with a love, lust, or loss reading. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can contact me at my email address in the description box below. Okay. So let's get started. Okay. You have a card for Pisces, please. A card for the person. Okay. The energy between them, or the outcome, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, you got similar cards to as Aquarius. So if you've got Aquarius placements, or your person may have, you may want to watch the Aquarius reading. Okay, Pisces, your overall energy for this reading is the Hermit. This is Virgo energy. If you could have these placements, or your person may have with the Hermit, this is talking about, contemplation, deep thought, using the energy of the Hermit, like solo energy, to go within, think about what it is you really want, heal things if you've been hurt by something. Okay. Underneath this, we have the Page of Cups, water sign or someone with a lot of water in their chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. There may have been, or may be, okay, a love offer that comes forward with an apology. It's a very small one though, because this is page energy. Okay. Underneath this, we have the Emperor. This is Aries energy. This is the divine masculine. So for some of you, this could be a soulmate connection, which I believe it may be, or it could possibly be twin flame. But when this card shows up, this is a soulmate card. It's talking about a strong connection, mutual attraction between the both of you. Okay. But there's juggling going on here with this Two of Pentacles. So we've got to see what is happening in the connection. Let's clarify the Hermit. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to pull a card for your person as well. Hermit. Okay. Okay. You feel like this situation is hopeless. All right. You may have tried to do what you could to resolve it, to solve the whatever the issue is between you and your person. But I feel like you're at the point of giving up, which is why the Hermit card is showing up. Okay. Your person has ghosted you. Okay. This is talking about, out of sight, out of mind, unable to express feelings in a healthy manner, blocking phone numbers and or social media. So there's been some ghosting that's happened. Okay. You may be feeling left out in the cold. This reminds me of the Five of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. So the card we have for you is the Sun. So this is, again, talking about a soulmate connection. This is Leo energy. It can talk about, you having the desire to have this amazing relationship. Okay. And wanting to be happy in your love life. Okay. You are trying to follow your intuition. All right. But you have trauma wounds that you have to deal with. So this is talking about sexual abuse, any type of sexual abuse, which may cause depression, anxiety, and or anger as an adult. Whatever this is, it needs to be addressed, because it is standing in the way of you getting this connection here. Okay. You getting a happy connection with someone. I'm not saying it's standing in the way of this particular connection, because we got to see what's going on with your person. But Spirit is telling you to follow your intuition and do what it is you need to do in order to heal your trauma wounds, and because there are limiting beliefs that come as a part of some of the things that you've experienced. My heart goes out to you, because sexual abuse is really serious, and it can affect you for your entire life. So you may be feeling like you're in quicksand, and that the more and more you try to work on yourself and you try to help yourself, you're just getting sucked under. And that may be why you're sitting in this energy of feeling hopeless. But you can't give up on yourself, Pisces. You got to continue to look after yourself. Okay. When it comes to your person, we had two cards that fell. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay. Water sign or someone with a lot of water in their chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And, but for me, this card is Scorpio. So your person may have these placements, or, you could have them as well. And then we have the Seven of Wands. So this person Let me clarify before I say anything. Another card, please. Okay, so we've got 2 cards that fell. Okay, so this is a very spiritual connection. We already know this. I already told you it's a soulmate connection. We had that 2 of cups show up. Okay, strong connection, mutual attraction. And then there's lessons that need to be learned. Valuable soul lessons needed to make self whole again. So this person is going through some issues of their own. Okay, and with this 7 of wands here, they may feel like they're on the defense. This could be them, making a decision to fight for you, okay? Because the Queen of Cups is looking in the direction of this card. And so there's some stuff going on between, you and this person, but this person has their own issues that they're dealing with the Queen of Cups and the 7 of wands. Like I said, the connection is spiritual, but they've got some lessons that they have to learn on their own as well. So when it comes to the energy between the both of you, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, and this is talking about collaboration, the 2 of you coming together as a team to work on things. This could, be you and them going together to therapy, because this card can represent therapy, or it could be you deciding to go through therapy to work on your trauma wounds, to work on your issues, because you're only it's like what they say, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. It's the same thing in a relationship. Whatever you do to better yourself is going to, in the end, better your relationship. Okay, because your person is being described as someone who is psychic. They're very in touch with their emotions. They are trying to, I think, work on being open and work on having a healthy connection with you, but there are some things on both sides of this connection that need to be dealt with. Okay, let's clarify the 3 of Pentacles. We'll get a card for you and a card for your person. 3 of Pentacles, because the both of you have the potential to have a grounded, stable, and committed relationship with this 3 of Pentacles, but you have to do the work. So yeah, you've got to focus on yourself and learn how to stand in your power as the warrior you are. And then your person, we've got family here. This to me reminds me of like the 10 of Pentacles. So this person may want to have a family with you. They may already have one, but it could be them wanting to make you a part of their family. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the realm of love, lust, or loss, I would call this a love connection, but it could possibly end in loss if the both of you don't focus on, meeting your needs and healing the things you have to heal so that you can come together and have a healthy relationship. You have the potential to do it. I feel like you both want to do it, but the work has got to be done. Okay. All right. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, contact me at the email address in the description box below. Have a good day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.